Hey there, all you cool, epic, awesome listeners. Welcome back. You're now listening to episode 23 of the Cool, Epic, Awesome podcast. I am Matt, your co-host.
And I'm your other co-host, Joe.
And in today's episode, we're going to have one on the shorter side, probably. We went to go see Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which was amazing.
Yeah.
And last episode, Joe recommended the monster hunting flick, Van Helsing. We'll get to that. There's a couple other movie news things, but nothing major since the last episode. So, yeah, I guess we'll start things off with Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I guess like a little sense of it. So we pick up after the events of Endgame, basically, and I guess Thor: Love and Thunder as well. That's the last time we saw the Guardians. But the movie is basically about Peter sort of dealing with the loss of Gamora and coming to terms with the fact that this new version of Gamora is not it's not the same girl that he was in love with, so he has to come to terms with the fact that he can't be with her. And then there's also this bigger plot of exploring the backstory of Rocket Raccoon and how he sort of was created. And it introduces this new villain who's probably one of the best villains in the MCU. I don't know if you agree.
Yeah.
Very great performance by the actor. I can't pronounce his name, but
he was good in Peacemaker too. That's what he was originally from.
Yeah, so it goes into Rocket's backstory. The basic premise of the film is at the beginning, Adam Warlock shows up and violates Rocket, and because of how Rocket was created, the Guardians can't use a med pack to heal him because he has this fail-safe in his heart that if they use any sort of I guess electronic equipment, it'll just kill him. So they have to go back and figure out who created him and figure out a way to turn that fail-safe off.
Yeah. I kind of liked how this one, it wasn't really about they weren't saving the world, or it was more of a personal type of, because I feel the other movies, it was more about them would it was a universe saving type of event. This was a really personal story.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that at the end of the day, they're not trying to defeat a villain. They're really just trying to save their friend.
Yeah.
And that just so happens to entail having to fight off the High Evolutionary.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, I was a little bit of a James Gunn hater. I can't lie. I never was that big of a fan of the other Guardians films, but he really did exceed all my expectations with this one. I think it's easily the best of the three.
Yeah, and even I just felt every character had every character had a satisfying end to it. If you were a fan of a certain character, every character has at the end of it, you're satisfied with what happened.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, by the end of the movie, the Guardians sort of split up, and Star-Lord ends up going back to Earth to chill with his Gramps. Rocket's leading this new team of Guardians that we get introduced to. But yeah, one of the bigger characters that was introduced in this was Adam Warlock, and I know you mentioned to me that you didn't like how he was handled.
Yeah,
I liked him.
I don't know. He was so in the context of the movie, they said he's like a baby. He's not. He takes things literally, and so they kind of did the whole that bit again, and they did that with Drax in the first one. I just feel I don't know. It was a little overplayed.
I mean, it was supposed to be he was just born. Well, they said that they took him out of the pod early.
Yeah,
and that's why he's so
literal.
Yeah, it is kind of weird though, because he is the one who injures Rocket at the beginning to the point of almost killing him. His introduction was pretty cool. I know it's getting memes now, the clip of him flying in.
Yeah.
But yeah, he shows how powerful he is right from the jump. But then he's really not he doesn't know any better. He's not doing. He wasn't coming to.
He's just no.
he wasn't like coming to kill the Guardians because he wanted to. It was because like the High Evolutionary told him to.
Yeah.
And I liked how he was handled, honestly.
Mhm.
I mean, I feel like they're setting him up for like future stuff because he wasn't like that big of a player in this movie.
Yeah,
And he, go ahead,
he's
sorry.
gonna probably have a big future in the MCU. And Will Poulter's that's who plays him, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Is a fan, like he's a really. I feel like they wouldn't have cast like a big actor like him if he was just gonna be in it for like one movie.
yeah. I mean, he is really like inconsequential to the story. Like they could have taken
Yeah.
him out and it still would have been fine. But I mean, I don't know. I enjoyed his performance, and I thought he was really funny. I enjoyed the whole like, oh, he was born yesterday kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, did you expect them to do more with his character in this movie?
Um. I mean, there's a lot going on with the movie, so I can't really blame it for not like really fleshing him out that much. I just would have preferred him to be just more like a normal character. Like I didn't like the whole like him being born yesterday whole thing, like that bit.
You would have liked if it was more, because in the comics he's kind of just like a space Jesus. Like he's
Yeah.
like the super overpowered, almost like a Superman kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which he still has that power, but I don't know.
He's just on he's underutilized.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't. Do you think they're gonna continue making Guardians movies or no?
I think so, but honestly, I feel like without James Gunn, I really don't trust anybody else. Like at least like if they do a new one, I'd want it to be like a completely different style. Like it'd have to be unique, not like the other three.
Yeah, I think what they're probably gonna do is keep using the characters, but just in other movies. I don't think they're gonna do like a Guardians Volume 4 at least for a while.
No.
Because what would that even look like? You know, I know they said at the end the only person that they said will return is Star-Lord.
Yeah.
Because like usually at the end of every Marvel movie, like right after the credits roll, it'll be like, oh, like Captain America will return or like someone will return. This one it only said Star-Lord. So, which is kind of surprising. I thought Chris Pratt was done, to be honest.
I mean, I don't even honestly like. What I guess he'll show up in Kang Dynasty, but
Yeah,
what
because
else really would it?
I guess yeah, he'll be around for the Avengers movies, I guess. But
Yeah, I don't really
yeah,
see like where else the story could go.
yeah, but you also have like that other Guardians team, which you were saying it was Cosmo, Adam Warlock, Rocket, um,
Oh,
Kraglin, and Groot.
Kraglin,
I don't really like Kraglin.
he's fine. I mean, he
I don't
doesn't
know.
really have like that big of a role. He's just
Yeah, I know people on Twitter always complain about like how James Gunn puts like his friends in all his movies and stuff, and that's like his brother, Sean Gunn.
yeah. I feel like a lot of directors do that though.
Yeah, definitely. But it is
And
it. Sorry,
I don't
go
know.
ahead.
And they're not. It's not like they're bad actors. Like it's not like it's. I don't know. Even his wife, I think is like I know you know. She's like really. She's like has a prominent role in Peacemaker, and she's great in it. And she was. I
Yeah,
mean, she was good in this. She didn't really have that big role, but like they're good actors, so I don't really like care.
yeah. It could be a little distracting sometimes. Like I understand like why people get annoyed. I personally don't care that much. But
Yeah,
like when you see like his wife just like pop up again, she's in like all of his projects. It is what it is. Like I'm not. I mean, I know that's how Hollywood works. Like I'm not saying like, oh, they should have gave that role to like someone else who's like up and
yeah.
coming. Like, that's just the name of the game. Like if you know someone, you're gonna get more roles. Um, did you have like a favorite character of the team?
I mean, probably Rocket. I mean, I feel like the movie's kind of from Rocket's point of view.
Yeah, it's hard for me to choose honestly. Like I do really like Rocket, and I also am a huge fan of Bradley Cooper, and he
Yeah,
does a great job with the
you could
voice.
tell like he just like doesn't give a shit about like the Guardian stuff. Like he does not care.
Who Bradley Cooper?
Yeah,
I mean, he's like in terms of his like acting level, he's probably like a bit above everyone else in the film.
oh
It's kind
yeah,
of
no,
it's funny because he's like playing a raccoon.
yeah.
I don't know if you've seen a lot of his movies, but
I mean, seen him in some stuff. I know, like he's obviously, you know, like one of the
yeah,
bigger actors in Hollywood. But
Yeah,
it's kind of like I feel like it's like how Harrison Ford like doesn't give a shit about Star Wars.
yeah, yeah. Because you wouldn't even know that he voices him,
Yeah, like
really.
he's never on set. Like he doesn't even like you see him at the premiere. Like he Dennis was wearing like a sweatshirt
Yeah, he doesn't
and
care.
like everyone. Yeah, like he just. I mean, which is fine. Like I'm not shitting on him. Like you know.
Get that bag.
Yeah.
What did you think of Cosmo?
I like Cosmo. I thought. I mean, I kind of thought he was good. That it's a girl, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Um, that she was gonna have a bigger role in the movie, like the way they were advertising it.
yeah,
She was in all the posters and stuff. I mean, I still liked her character. I thought it was like cute.
yeah. I think it was a good idea though that like her and Kraglin didn't join the team and held it down on nowhere, the
Yeah,
planet.
and I feel like they each got their moments to shine. Like
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, and you like the actress too, right? Maria,
yeah, yeah,
whatever, Maria Bakalova or something.
yeah. She got cast in Creature Commandos too.
Oh,
Actually,
really?
yeah.
That's
I don't
cool.
know who she's playing like an original character though.
That's cool. Yeah, I saw she seemed like very excited about it when they interviewed her. I saw a clip where they basically she got cast and then like she asked them if she could also do the mocap because she wanted to like be on set and like interact with like all these other actors and stuff.
Yeah,
Because she could have just done the
The Voice.
voice, which probably would have been way easier.
Yeah.
But
I
she's
mean,
up.
have you seen her in Borat?
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, yeah, she's. I mean that movie's obviously like fun, like funny, but you could tell like it's real acting in those scenes. It's not.
yeah. She's also in Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
Yeah. I mean,
Which
I didn't. She was okay in Bodies.
yeah, she seems like a talented actress. I mean,
Yeah.
I personally like her. I'm trying to think if
Anyway,
there's anything else that was introduced in this. Like any,
um,
I don't know.
I
I
mean,
know
not really.
the movie. A lot of people, even what is it, PETA, the
What?
animal.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, like
the Peter the animal rights.
they came out and said like it's the best animal rights movie like of all time or something, which it kind of is.
Yeah.
Like,
No, the whole movie is about
yeah, it's like
against animal abuse,
yeah,
like testing on animals and stuff. That's like that's what the movie's about.
yeah. Um, were you getting emotional in those flashback scenes?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought like my favorite scene was probably the when Rocket like almost goes to heaven, or like he like goes to heaven and sees his friends again.
Yeah.
Definitely emotional, and that might have been like Chris Pratt's best acting performance.
Yeah. Honestly.
One of them.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Did you like Lila and like the other animals?
Yeah, I thought they were all like cute. I honestly like. I mean, I knew they were all gonna die, but like, I didn't expect it the way it happened.
I didn't think they were gonna die because I remember in one of the trailers there's like a scene of Rocket and Lila like running and hugging each other. I thought that was gonna be like them reuniting, like after I saw the trailer, but that's not how it is. That's like
No.
when he first opens the thing and then she gets shot. Um, one of my other favorite scenes though was like after the High Evolutionary literally kills like Rocket's friends and he's like screaming, crying. And then like the High
Just like
Evolutionary
mocking
just like
him.
mocks him and he's like, shut up, like he's screaming and crying himself. And then Rocket like rips his face up.
Yeah.
That was pretty dark.
Yeah. The movie was like had a lot of like dark themes.
Yeah, it's darker than a typical MCU movie for
MCU
sure.
movie. Yeah. But I feel like at this point they just let James Gunn do like
Hmm.
whatever he wants. They just
Yeah, it also had the first F bomb in the MCU.
yeah.
Pretty funny because you're allowed to get one. You're allowed to say one F word in a PG-13
Jesus
movie.
movie. Yeah.
I thought it was funny the way it was used.
Yeah. No, I thought the movie was really funny.
Yeah, I really I like Drax and Mantis's like
Arc.
relationship.
Yeah.
I feel like their scenes are always funny. Like when she tells him that she thinks he's stupid and then like makes him forget, like she wipes his
Yeah.
memory right
Yeah.
after. those things are funny. Just like their dynamic is cool.
I feel like honestly in this movie they felt the most like the way they like bicker and interact. Like it honestly felt like it's a family talking.
Yeah, there's a
Like it,
lot of like family, like I guess vibes
yeah.
from the or like tones of like how important it is to have family. Even like Nebula in this, who's like usually such like a dark and brooding character.
Yeah,
She's
she like opens up a lot. She's like
yeah, and she's staying on Nowhere with Drax to like raise those kids that
yeah.
they saved. So Mantis says she's going off to explore or something at the end.
Yeah.
I wonder why they did that and why they didn't just like put her with the new team. Like, are they?
I mean, she may be a prior contract is up or something.
Yeah. I mean, Batista said he's done.
Yeah.
I feel like he might come back though for like an Avengers thing.
I don't think he'd do anything unless James go. Actually, no, he did Infinity War.
Hmm.
I don't know. Maybe like yeah, I don't think he'd come back for like if they wanted to do like another Guardians, but like if they did like an Avengers thing, I'd say maybe.
Yeah, especially if he gets that bag thrown at him,
Yeah.
and like if the rest of like the actors come back, I feel like he probably would as well.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So after this film, though, there was a lot of discourse about the villain, and some people were saying that they should try to retcon it so that he's a Kang variant and just make him like the new Kang because he is very similar to Kang.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a similar type of
he
like
has
an
his
ego type of like you know.
yeah, his suit is very similar. His power set is similar. So I feel like if they have to figure out what to do with Jonathan Majors, and you have this like great actor who I'm sure he'd be willing to do it because he'd get
Yeah.
bank. I think Majors was supposed to get like 20 million for Kang Dynasty.
Yeah.
They could easily in another movie just reveal that like he was actually like Nathaniel Richards or something, and it's just like a or he could have been like the Kang of
Of R
the main
of R.
yeah of
Yeah.
all because that Kang the Kang from Quantumania was he? He was from a different.
No, he's like from he's not from R. This like I don't know what the Marvel like R is in the movies. What is it, 616?
Yeah, I guess 616.
People argue, I don't know if you saw that, like, because 616 is technically like the comic universe, like in the comics. But people technically like say like, oh, like the MCU technically is in the 616. I don't know if you have you heard about that before?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, and that's just like fucking. That's just like
Yeah,
nerds. Like, who
yeah,
cares? It doesn't. It really doesn't matter.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, well, I'm sorry. What was I saying? Oh yeah, people want him to
Play
play
Kang.
Kang. I mean, it's honestly a great idea, and I feel like it would
If
work.
they want to go in house, yeah.
Because then, would that be like more jarring than just like recasting and not saying anything? You know? I don't know.
Um, I feel like I don't know, like they can definitely get other talented actors to play Kang. Like I feel like I don't know. I don't know.
We'll
Like it
see.
would
Because
be a good casting, but I just feel like there's also I'm sure there's other fantastic actors that would do just as good of a job as him.
yeah, we still got
It's
to
not like
see
he's
what
like the
happens.
only person that could play. You know what I mean?
No, definitely. We still got to see what happens with Jonathan Majors, though.
I mean, it's not looking good.
Yeah, it's really not. I mean, apparently, if he is found guilty, he has to go to prison for a year. So he can't
Yeah.
film Avengers while he's in prison.
No, I think he's
Um,
like it's too far gone at this point.
yeah, we'll see though. But
Yeah.
yeah, did you have like a favorite scene in the movie?
Oh yeah, that hallway fight scene.
Oh yeah, that was sick.
That was probably
That
one
was
of that was like one of the best MCU action scenes. It's probably like that. The no, I don't know if that's the best, but
it's up there. I mean,
it's gotta be top three.
it was a continuous like take, and then all like every character got like their chance to like shine, and it was cool when they like interacted with each other.
Yeah.
Like a Rocket would like jump over like Groot's arm and like swing on it to like violate someone or something. And it showed like how, although like yes, it's an action scene they're fighting, it also like showed how tight knit they are as like a group and a family.
Yeah.
Um, One thing that I didn't like about the film, however, is no one died.
See,
Like they were,
I
you
didn't
didn't.
mind that.
I
I
feel like
just,
there's,
I
I don't
don't
know,
know.
they're setting up all these stakes, and this is supposed to be like, yeah, it's the conclusion. Um, and there's like three fake out deaths in the movie. They
There's
couldn't just kill.
three. The only one I
Well,
remember is like Peter.
well, there's that. There's Quill who probably should have died,
Yeah,
but I get why they did that. It like redeems Adam Warlock because he's the one who initially, as I mentioned before, he's the one who like shoots
the
Rocket.
Rocket. Yeah,
So he redeems himself by saving Peter, which is why like I guess the Guardians are fine with taking him back in. Um, there's that. There's the Rocket one where like he flatlines and like you think he's gonna die. He literally like is in heaven.
oh
And
yeah,
I thought they should have killed him there, but they whatever, he survives and they bring him back. And the third one was like it wasn't as much, but it was like um when Drax gets like shot in the chest when they're doing that like raid to like steal the file.
yeah. I didn't think it was. I don't know. When I saw that scene, I didn't think he was dead.
Yeah, but whatever. Either way, I just
Yeah,
think that I mean, I did. It still did have stakes. Like I felt like someone could die at any moment. I never felt like at ease the with like what was gonna happen to the characters. But I
yeah,
just think they should have went all the way with it and at least killed off someone. Because I feel like the MCU movies are the best when there are big stakes and characters do die, like in Infinity War and when Gamora dies and Endgame, Tony dies. Like I like when they actually are willing to take that step and kill off a character.
I mean, yeah, yeah. But would it have really added that much more to the story if someone died? Like, I'm still satisfied with the ending.
I mean, I don't know. I guess it didn't really it wouldn't make that much of a difference. Um, like let's say if Rocket died, that would like affect the future of the other characters because they would feel guilt for like allowing him to get killed,
Yeah,
you know? Um, but yeah, I see what you're saying. One other thing I wanted to talk about, which was kind of interesting, was how like James Gunn kind of had to like change his story for the Guardians based
yeah,
on what happened in another movie that wasn't his. So like Gamora, the original Gamora gets killed off in Infinity War, and then a different version of her from a different universe gets brought back in Endgame, which I'm sure was not James Gunn's idea.
yeah.
But then he basically has to get thrust into this third film and like work with what he got. And I thought he did okay.
They they honestly kept her like a pretty like. I mean, she was basically part of the team the whole movie, and they did it like in a way that didn't really feel forced. Like it made sense.
Yeah, it was
You
definitely
know what I mean?
organic.
Yeah, and that's like I feel like really hard to do.
Yeah. It kind of seemed like if you didn't watch like Endgame and Infinity War, you would be confused with it a little bit. Because like they do kind of explain it, but like for someone who hasn't seen the movies, you probably wouldn't like fully understand what's happening.
Yeah,
They kind of also act like, oh, she doesn't remember. Like they say, oh, she doesn't remember any of that when referring to like her backstory with Peter.
hmm
Um, but like it's not that she doesn't remember it; it's that that wasn't her, you
yeah.
know. But I think just to make it
It was a
easier,
completely different person.
just for like people to understand, um, that like makes sense, I guess, as a way to
Yeah,
do it. Um, but yeah, I mean, I thought. Do you think that it was weird that they didn't end up together at the end, or do you think it was a good choice?
I kind of liked it that they didn't end up together in the end.
Yeah, I agree. It sort of it like shows Peter's character's growth, kind of
Yeah,
like at the beginning of the movie. He's like the fact that he can't have Gamora. He's like drinking himself to like basically to sleep every night
yeah,
apparently. And it seems like when the Guardians in the beginning when they like carry him back to his room after passing out at the bar, it seems like that's something that they probably have had to do a couple times.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was a cool shot too, but there was a lot of really good shots in the movie.
Yeah, definitely. There was a lot. I like any of the shots where they're walking together as a team. were well
Yeah.
done. Um, but yeah, I don't really. I'm trying to think if I have any more thoughts on it. I feel like I might be forgetting something important,
Um,
but maybe not.
yeah, no, I was gonna say like the post credit scenes, but we already like kind of talked about that.
Yeah. All right. So you want to move? You want to get to ratings then?
Yeah.
I
I
gave.
gave.
All right.
You want to go
You go.
first?
No, no, no. You go first.
Um, so I gave it a 8 out of 10 or 4 out of 5. It's like a really high 4. I feel like just the Adam Warlock thing just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I feel like watching it again, I may end up giving it a 4.5, but right now I'm sticking with 4.
Yeah, I gave it a 4.5 stars, 9 out of 10. It's up there with my favorite in the MCU. I would say it was emotional. It was funny. There was actual stakes. Had a good plot. Great villain. Um, there's not the thing that holds it back to me is just the fact that no one was killed off, especially after like how much they teased that like people were gonna die. Um, but yeah, it was a great step in the right direction for the MCU now, and we'll see what's the next thing now. Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion. And then honestly, Marvels looks promising.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably not gonna do that well, but you never know. I mean, Captain Marvel made $1 billion, so.
Yeah.
But that was also at like the height of the MCU because that movie came out like after Infinity War, right?
Yeah, we'll see.
So like,
I feel like it'll make money. Maybe not like crazy amount, but it'll make money.
yeah, and then after that, you have like the actual big hitters. I think Fantastic Four, Blade, um, Deadpool 3 are among
Well,
like
now
the
we'll see with the writers' strike, like how long stuff's gonna get delayed though.
yeah. But yeah, that's actually a good transition to I did want to talk about the writer's strike that's currently going on. Um, so the Writers Guild of America is basically like I don't want to say it's like a union, but it's like an organization that like protects the rights of like writers in Hollywood. And they sort of have terms that like studios have to agree with in order to hire the writers. They're currently striking because the last time they like had a bill in place, it was it was like before streaming was like huge, and basically writers for the most part are fighting to get revenue from their previous work that's being like streamed on streaming services. Like let's say someone wrote a movie and then whatever, yeah, they wrote a movie comes out like years ago, and now they're bringing it back and it's streaming on a streaming service. The writers want like these companies are profiting from the movie obviously
Yeah,
being on their service, so they want like uh,
incentive.
yeah, they want their bread. So they're trying to figure that out. They're also I don't know if you saw what they were talking about with like the AI stuff,
Yeah,
which that I thought that was very interesting. So the uh the strike has a couple demands, one of which was studios can't rewrite a writer's script using AI. And they also can't use a writer's script in order to teach an AI how to write,
yeah.
which is very interesting stuff, you know? I think we will get to a point in the not so distant future of a movie that could be made fully using AI, which
Oh
is
yeah,
like
I'm sure.
crazy to even think about. I know you've probably seen on Twitter like those clips of the like oh what if Wes Anderson directed Star Wars?
Yeah,
Which I mean obviously it doesn't look like the best, but the fact that like a machine was able to just create that is like insane to think
pretty
about.
kind of wild. Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever used ChatGPT before. Have
What
you?
is that?
It's just like an AI bot that
Oh,
I've used it before. It's for like some of my school assignments. I didn't like take it directly from there, but I use it to inspire me.
yeah.
Like for example, I could just go on the website and just be like, write me a 5 paragraph essay about Guardians of the Galaxy 3. It'll load for like 2 seconds and type out an entire essay. And like,
Really?
yeah, You could say write an article about this. It'll just write an article, and like that's sort of like
How do
scary.
people figure out like if you send it in as like an assignment, like let's say you have an assignment and you use that to write your like thing, can they figure out that it wrote it or like they have no idea?
Yeah, there is what if there's excuse me if there's writing that was written using AI, there are like websites that you could put it in and it could detect whether or not it was written with AI
Oh,
just based
okay,
on
okay.
like so obviously if I like when I used it, I had to like write an essay for my safety and construction class about like the
Mm-hmm.
future of like safety on like the work site. So I just
Mm-hmm.
said I put in the website I was like write an essay about this about write an essay about the future of safety on the construction site, and it just wrote me an entire essay. But I didn't just copy and paste that, but I looked at it and like used what it
Yeah,
said and like rewrote it in my own words. But it's just like a very useful tool, and it's insane like how like fast this stuff is developing. Like it's not a linear development. It's like an exponential development
yeah.
in how fast this shit is improving. Um
How long do you think before we actually see the first like forms of media written by AI?
who knows, bro? Could be happening already.
Yeah,
But dude, it gets to a point where it's like if you have this tool, what's the point of even hiring like a journalist when you're gonna pay someone to like write an article when you could just say write an article about this and it'll type it out in 5 seconds.
yeah. I mean, that's
That's
just gonna. I'm sure that's just, like what we're heading towards.
but that's why this like writer strike is so important
No, yeah,
because they want to protect their jobs. And eventually, like it's not perfect now, but AI will get to the point where it can perfectly replicate like great writing and it'll be able to just write a movie script.
yeah.
Um, one of the other things with the strike was they said like to sort of find a middle ground, they were saying, okay, we can tell AI to write a script and then bring in real writers to like revise it and rewrite it, which that I guess makes sense.
I feel like
But
that's like
still,
more something uh, that would be utilized more than like using an AI to write an entire script. It'll be used like to help people write.
yeah. But we'll see what happens. I mean,
Yeah.
hopefully the strike doesn't last long because you're already seeing like for example, Blade had to
Daredevil got delayed.
stop. Yeah, Daredevil was currently filming. They had to stop production.
I mean,
Most
I
like
don't.
some of the current movies should be fine. Like if they have a script written, then they'll be chilling. But for Marvel, a lot of times they're making like revisions on set to
I
the
mean, a lot
script.
of
And, like
movies they do that.
yeah. Um.
That's
So
why
we'll
anything
see.
filming right now is like not. It's I don't know. Like I don't know if you saw like when they filmed Deadpool 3, like Ryan Reynolds is not allowed to like improvise lines. Just 'cause you know, like a lot of times, like he'll just like say lines on the spot and end up using that.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
D-
not allowed to do that
Why? Wait,
because it's
why?
technically like he's a writer for it technically.
Oh, I see. Yeah, but I mean, bro, how the fuck can they know at that point? You know,
Well,
like how could they even know whether that was in
well,
the
that's because
script
they
or not?
have like a union rep there at the on the set of the movie.
Yeah. Um. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, it gets like figured out quickly, but
We'll
we'll
see.
see.
The last writer's strike I think lasted like 3 months.
Yeah, we're probably gonna see some shit get delayed, especially the
Yeah.
Marvel stuff.
I'd rather it be delayed though than it be them like rush it out and the writers not be there and it end up turning out shit.
Yeah, definitely. Um, but yeah, very interesting. I'm sure we'll have more info on it by the next episode. Hopefully, it'll be resolved by then, but I doubt
Resolved,
it.
yeah.
Um, but speaking of Marvel, I wanted to. I know last episode we discussed some rumors for the Fantastic Four cast. We were talking about how the Thing could be female and maybe Adam Driver was going to be Reed Richards. It's looking like more set in stone that he is going to be Reed Richards.
Yeah.
But basically, like I think the day after we released that episode, it got reported that Margot Robbie was offered the role of Sue Storm, which I don't see her taking. But if she did, That would actually be insane.
Yeah,
Like if like Margot Robbie and Adam Driver leading an MCU movie is like a crazy thing to think about.
yeah.
I don't get though. I still don't understand like why Adam Driver took it because I feel like he wanted to move away from this sort of like
I mean, maybe he wants to try and get a redemption. I mean, I don't know. And I'm sure this is like a well-written movie.
yeah
Like I know Marvel's like not, especially with the Fantastic Four. They know how bad it's been represented in media, so think they're probably trying to. They really want to get like some A-listers in there to help like sell tickets because it has like such a bad stigma with it to people that don't know the Fantastic Four.
yeah for
Because the
sure
first, I mean, the first one, like I remember watching that as a kid. Like I enjoyed it as a kid, but apparently, like they really weren't that good.
yeah
Like they're fun.
definitely yeah. Do you think like Margot can escape the Harley Quinn though shadow? Not shadow, but
Yeah,
like she's so known as that role that if she does
she's like
another superhero thing, but people will just be like, oh, that's
like
Harley Quinn.
but like that's not even her best role as Harley Quinn. Like I don't know. Like I feel like it's not as synonymous with her. Like she has other really really good roles.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I don't know.
I mean,
She
she's
could.
still like in terms of superhero. Like obviously she's gonna be only known for Harley Quinn, but I mean maybe now if she takes this, she'll probably be just known more for as Sue Storm.
We'll see. I mean, hopefully, if she does take it, which I hope she does. I mean, that would be insane. You would have like two of the best actors in Hollywood.
Yeah, and then they offered what's the guy
Paul Mescal.
Yeah, he got offered for Johnny Storm, so they could potentially have him, and then even like all. Imagine they have like them two, and then Austin Butler.
Yeah, it would
That'd be
be
like
pretty crazy.
insane.
And we're gonna talk about Austin Butler a little later too for the
Yeah, the Dune.
one of the trailers. Before that, I wanted to since we're talking about casting, we might as well talk about the Superman casting that
Yeah,
stuff that like just hit this morning.
yeah. Not even this morning. It happened like 20 minutes ago before we started
Yeah,
recording.
I don't know. You want to take this one?
Yeah. So it was basically reported a couple actors and actresses that were in the running for Superman and Lois Lane. The biggest one, honestly, for Superman was the guy David Cronsweat, right? He's in like a lot of the fan castings.
Yeah, David Cornsweet. I think when we did our like fan casting, I think I chose him as the.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
was
know
in
if you did as
Pearl.
well.
And then they also originally they had Nicholas Hoult as being discussed to play Lex Luthor, but then that was proven wrong, and it was said he's actually in the running for Superman. But I don't know, that one I'm not really as big of a fan of. And then the Lois Lane actresses I don't really know that well. Emma Mackey, Phoebe Dynevor, I don't know how to say it. Samara Weaving and Rachel Brosnahan. Those honestly I don't know any of those, but
Samara Weaving is a great actress. She would be good. She
what is
was
she in?
she was the one in the new Scream from this year. She was like the opening kill.
Oh yes, yeah.
That girl. She looks a lot like Margot Robbie, actually. Um, she's also in Babylon. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh really? Who's she playing Babylon?
She plays like the girl who's remember when Margot like first goes to the movie set and she's like competing with that girl.
Yeah.
It's that like that was the girl.
Oh.
It was like funny because they look like each other. But yeah, there was so Nicholas Hoult. It said at first that he was gonna be Lex Luthor, but it was actually for Superman.
Yeah.
I know you like him, but I don't think I
I
see
don't like
that.
him as Superman. Yeah, he's a little older.
Yeah, I actually watched Renfield recently, which he's
How
in.
was it?
It was okay. It was just like, just a
Yeah.
solid movie. But I don't know if he is in the DCU. I'd want him to play a big name character. I feel like I would feel more comfortable with him being Batman than
Yeah, I'd
Superman.
even like him better as Lex than Superman, honestly.
Would he shave his head though?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they'd be paying him
actually,
bread.
yeah.
He definitely would. His hair's
Actually,
short too. It'll grow back in like
I
10
think he
years.
shaved it for Mad Max. Actually, now that I think about it. But yeah, I could see him. I could see him as Lex. Um, Also, apparently, like people were saying, like Jacob Elordi was in the running, but he didn't even audition.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. I guess like why wouldn't you? You know.
Hmm. I mean,
Um,
how do you feel about? Do you feel more confident going into Superman Legacy after Guardians?
yeah, definitely. I feel more comfortable with like James Gunn, um, like leading that universe.
Yeah.
I do think Corn Sweat is gonna get the role though. It's like too perfect of a casting to like
Yeah.
overlook.
Honestly, I mean, I don't really know him, and I've only seen him in Pearl. I mean, he was good in Pearl, but like,
Yeah, it's just like he is an unknown. He was good in
yeah,
this
like I'd rather them
the
cast like somebody that's like,
like if we hadn't seen Pearl, like we had no idea who this guy is. But he has like
he looks the part. I'd be like, oh, okay.
he has the chiseled face. And apparently they're filming in January, which is that's in 7 months.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, the script's already written.
yeah, so we'll see. But I mean, the casting news has to be coming out soon. I would say
Comic
officially.
Con, I'd say probably is like when they'll officially announce it. It's got to be. Same thing with Fantastic Four.
I know. And James
When?
Gunn tweeted that no one's currently cast besides one person, and that person is not part of like the Superman family. And he put like a mermaid emoji, which I'm not too sure what that means, but
I mean, people. I mean, technically, somebody was. I saw something on Twitter. Like, could it be possibly like he's saying Lobo? Like, if some people say Lobo's gonna be the villain of
yeah, but he is
Su-
part of like the Superman mythos because he's like a Superman villain.
he is. I thought he was like in. I thought he's just like a.
I mean, I believe he is. I don't. I'm
I know
pretty sure he's.
he does fight Superman, but I don't think he's like.
Is he like a Justice League villain in general?
I don't know. Let me look it up. Do you think Momoa was definitely playing him?
Lobo?
Yeah.
I believe so. I mean, James Gunn posted the picture of Lobo, so we know Lobo is coming. But I'm not sure. We'll see. But unless, uh, I think that was really it with that casting. We could talk about those two trailers that dropped.
Yeah.
First one was Dune. These are it's funny too because when we made that episode with talking about our most anticipated movies, both of these movies were two of my top five most anticipated. First being Dune 2, which I think looks fantastic. The trailer, so it was like a fucking awesome trailer. We got our first look at Florence Pugh's character. We got our look at Austin Butler's character.
Yeah.
Austin Butler looks insane.
Yeah, he looks like a fucking lunatic. I mean, I still haven't seen the first Dune.
Yeah, you have to watch it.
Yeah.
I think maybe I'll recommend it like one time when we're getting
I mean,
when like
I'm
we're
gonna watch it before the new one comes out. I just don't know
yeah
when I'll watch it.
yeah it's Denis Villeneuve again. He's gonna drop like a fucking masterclass with this.
Yeah.
And
Is this the last one or there's
I'm
like
pretty sure it's of out of three parts. Um, I watched the original Dune movie directed by David Lynch, and that has like I'm pretty sure like the entire story in one movie.
oh really?
Yeah, so it seems like it could be stretched out into three parts though. I guess it just depends like how Denis wants to tell the story,
Yeah.
you know. But I think the trailer looked fantastic. Those blood, like the cinematography just looks insane. The
Yeah.
visuals look really cool, and especially with Austin Butler's character, he has shaven eyebrows and like a fully
What who
shaven
is his
head.
character? Like I don't
I
mean I
th-
don't really know the story that well.
he's called Frayed Routha, I believe.
Is he like a villain or
Yeah, he's the villain.
oh he's the main villain of the movie?
I don't know if he's the main villain, but I mean I guess well there's the guy who's played by Stellan Skarsgård, like the fat dude. He's like the villain. But I'm pretty sure I don't really remember. The Dune story overall is very confusing, and I know people have said it's like very hard to adapt, which is why like a lot like people are giving their props to Denis Villeneuve for doing it. But I know Frayed Routha in the David Lynch movie, he did not look like that, but he was like the big bad kind of.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'm excited. I want to see if Austin Butler wasn't just a fluke with Elvis. Because what else is he casting anything else major besides this?
Mm, not that I'm aware of. No. Oh, he's in like that biker
Oh,
movie.
yeah, the one with Norman Reedus as well, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's not
so
coming out for until next year, right?
yeah, no, I don't think so. Um, but yeah, the movie looks really cool,
Yeah.
and we'll definitely see it in theaters. I'm kind of mad I didn't get to see the first Dune in theaters because it was during COVID, and it got released like to HBO Max as well. Um, but
Did it
yeah,
do
it's
good at
been.
the box office?
I think it did like relatively decent
Or
for.
like what? Yeah, I'm sure this one is gonna do like huge.
Yeah, definitely. And this sort of proves that like you can make a blockbuster that still is like a good, well-made movie.
Yeah,
'Cause, like think about this compared to like Fast X,
I mean, yeah, no.
like the like two big blockbusters, but just completely different.
But you gotta have the source material with this too.
Yeah, yeah, but still like just like making a good movie, having a good script.
No, yeah.
Like just because it's a blockbuster and it wants to make money doesn't mean that it has to be schlock and can't be well told
Yeah, I
and.
mean, Guardians is another example of that too.
Hmm. For sure. But yeah, excited for that. Other thing, which I'm even more excited for, Yorgos Lanthimos' next film, the trailer for Poor Things. I was like very surprised by like the style of it and the tone. It looks really cool.
What is it? What is it like about?
It is like a Frankenstein's monster kind of story.
Okay, I mean, I figured that was what.
I'm assuming it seemed from the trailer that Emma Stone was the one who like got created. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hold on, I want to look up a synopsis really quick
What else
because
has he directed? This guy.
uh, Killing of a Sacred Deer, The Lobster, The Favorite, Dogtooth. Um, I don't know. He's one of my favorite directors. But wait, I want to read the synopsis really quick. So it says Bella Baxter is brought back to life by the brilliant and unorthodox scientist Dr. Godwin Baxter. Bella is eager to learn, hungry for the worldliness she's lacking. She runs off with Duncan Wedderburn, a slick and debauched lawyer, on a whirlwind adventure across the continents.
Is that Mark Ruffalo's character?
Yeah, she runs off with Mark Ruffalo. The doctor guy is played by Willem Dafoe.
Okay.
Um, I love Willem Dafoe. I'm a huge fan of Emma Stone. She's one of my favorite actresses. I feel like she hasn't been in anything in a while though. Like the last thing I really remember being in is Cruella, which was like
Yeah.
fine. Um, but yeah, I'm hyped. I love Yorgos. I don't know. You gotta like check out some of his movies for
Yeah, I'll
sure.
probably watch some stuff before this comes out.
Um, but yeah, like the visuals in it look so sick. Like
Yeah,
it looks.
it looks very like Tim Burton esque
Yeah,
almost.
yeah. It's like Tim Burton, like Wes Anderson, kind of. Not really, but it's just like not what I expected, knowing his
Yeah.
previous films. And I'm excited that he's like gonna, take liberties. Um, like
Speaking of
this
Willem
compared to like Dogtooth, which is one of his other movies, like completely different.
yeah.
Um, that's a weird ass movie. It's about like this family that doesn't let their kids like ever leave their house. So like
Is it like a
they're
horror movie?
no, it's like a I don't even know how to describe it. I guess it's like a drama thriller, but there's like just some weird shit in it. There's like incest and like it's a strange movie. Nothing like this. And I wouldn't watching that. You wouldn't think that like this dude would be able to work with someone like Emma Stone and
Yeah,
Willem
no.
Dafoe. What you were saying something about Willem Dafoe though before I cut you off. I
Oh,
think.
I mean, I don't know if we didn't really get to talk about this, but he got cast in Beetlejuice 2. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I saw there was a couple like confirmed casting things with
Yeah,
that. Jenna Ortega.
yeah. Jenna Ortega's confirmed to play Lydia's daughter, and then there was another actress that's playing Beetlejuice's wife. I forgot her name.
Oh yes. What the fuck's her name? Mm,
I've never heard of her honestly. It was
I
like
have. Yeah, I've. It's gonna bother me now. Let me see if I can find it really quick. But I don't
it's
know
like
how I feel
Melissa
about that.
something.
I feel like um Tim
What?
Burton hasn't been like as great as he usually as like his OG movies.
Yeah,
Um, but I'm willing to give it a chance. Why not? Oh, Monica Bellucci.
that was it.
Yeah, yeah. Justin Theroux. Um,
I saw something that originally, before Jenna Ortega got the role, they wanted what the hell's her name from The Whale?
oh, Sadie Sink.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Jenna Ortega kind of fits the Tim Burton mold a little better. Not that
yeah.
Sadie Sink couldn't do it, but
Is he involved in this, or he's directing it?
Burton?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, he is. Oh, I didn't.
yeah, yeah. He's directing it.
Oh, so then it makes sense why they cast Ortega then.
Yeah, I mean, she's not as an accomplished actress as Sadie Sink because of The Whale. Not accomplished, but Sadie Sink does seem like a little bit higher caliber of an
Yeah.
actress, which I guess makes sense that she was offered it. Now it said she's gonna have scheduling conflicts, so I wonder what she's filming. Possibly Superman. She
Who?
could be
Sadie
Sadie
Sink.
Sink. Yeah, she was my pick for Supergirl. I think
I
she would be
feel.
a great
Who would she be?
Supergirl.
I mean, if she plays, is she too young to play Supergirl? How old is she? How old is Supergirl supposed to be? Like 18?
Well, she's just supposed to be younger than Clark.
Superman. Yeah.
So if you get like a 20-something-year-old to play Clark and she's like approaching her 20s, I feel like that would work.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah,
I feel like honestly, I'm kind of out of like so many like remakes and like legacy sequels and stuff like that come out. Like I feel like Beetlejuice is one I'm kind of excited for. Like
yeah, I like
I
Beetlejuice,
liked I
but
liked Tim Burton. I liked yeah, I love Beetlejuice the movie.
I don't know. It's gonna be weird like seeing Michael Keaton back in that role because he's gonna have to like do all the makeup and
Like,
shit and like
yeah.
he's old, bro. He's like 70 something.
I mean, he did Batman. I'm sure he could do Beetlejuice.
Yeah, it'll be interesting though. I'm surprised he even like wants to do it. I guess because Burton is coming back and he's like,
Yeah, like I feel like for them all to come back, it's got to be a good story.
yeah. I mean, I forget what ends up happening to his character at the end of the movie, but yeah, I'm sure it'll be
Um,
good.
yeah,
Well, actually, I'm not sure, but we'll see. Um, all right, you want to move on to Van
Van
Helsing?
Helsing. Yeah,
So you want to give a little
yeah. I'll give a
synopsis
little
of this one?
synopsis. So, Van Helsing is basically this story about this character Van Helsing. He's essentially a monster hunter for the Vatican. What is he right? Technically, the
Yeah,
Vatican.
yeah, he works for the Vatican.
And they basically hear about reports of a vampire in Transylvania, and it's about him basically just going after like Dracula, but it's set in like this gothic European setting with like werewolves and like all different types of like ghosts and like creatures. So
Yeah,
I remember like watching this as a kid and like really liking it, and I mean honestly, I really enjoyed it still even now.
yeah. Wait, dude, I'm picking up like some feedback from like I don't know if there's something going off behind you or maybe it's just me.
I don't know.
Oh, it stopped. Okay, never mind. But sorry. Anyways, yeah, I really like how it incorporates like multiple different like lores of like different universal monsters and combines them into one.
Yeah,
Like there's the Dracula stuff, obviously. They have werewolves and they have like the Frankenstein story and they sort of like intertwine the stories with each other, which I think just makes for like a better like world for Van Helsing to be in to like hunt these monsters and stuff,
yeah.
you know.
I really like the way this is a little random, but the way they like portray the vampires, like they're like creature. I don't know, like every time they show their teeth, like they looked like an animal. It wasn't like a. I don't know
It
how to
wasn't
explain it.
it wasn't like a Twilight vampire.
Yeah, yeah.
I know what you're saying, yeah. They're very like animalistic
Hmm.
and like I don't know, not like more monster than human.
Yeah.
I thought the CGI was like decent. It was pretty
Yeah, I
good
thought
for
it
the
held up pretty well, honestly. The
yeah.
movie came out in 2004.
Yeah. I don't know, I like how like the female vampires look too, how they like become full monsters with like wings.
Yeah.
Um, when they're like raiding that town, it's like where Van Helsing first meets the girl. There's like one part, I don't know if you remember this, but when the vamp like comes down, she picks up like a cow and just launches it through a house. Do
No,
you remember that?
I don't know
Bro,
why I
like
don't
for
remember
some reason I was watching that with my friend. We actually were like crying at that scene. We could
that.
not stop
I
laughing.
don't know why I don't
I
remember that. I kind of
I
want to see that
kept
now.
I kept like replaying it. Dude, it's like Van Helsing for some reason like everyone's going insane. Like everyone's running around because like there's these vamps like trying to violate.
Yeah.
For some reason there's this cow just sitting in the middle of everything, not even moving. And like for no reason, the vampire just like picks it up and launches it like through a house. It was so funny. But there's just like a bunch of like slapstick like funny things like that
Yeah.
throughout. Like people getting thrown into shit, like stuff breaking and exploding. Which just make it's just like a fun like it's a horror movie, but it's like an action movie.
Yeah,
It's like horror
it's
action.
fun.
Um and those are two tones which I feel like are hard to blend, like horror and action.
I
Which you
didn't
see in
feel it
like
was like like scared. I don't know. I wasn't like scared. It was more just like it had like horror themes.
yeah, no, it wasn't like scary, but it's definitely a horror film.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, like you were mentioning though before, we used to watch this when we were kids. I don't know why. I guess Dad thought it was a good idea for us to watch these, but watch this. I mean, it's very like it's like weirdly like sexual in a way. Like especially the like
Oh
Dracula
yeah.
himself. It's like there's like this weird like sexual energy of the movie
Yeah.
that like probably like kids shouldn't watch. Aside from the fact that like it was probably scary for us. I don't know if I remember being scared when I was younger, but
No, I think we just liked like the monsters in it and stuff.
yeah, for some reason I specifically remember like the Dr. Jekyll scene.
Yeah.
That one always stuck out in my head from watching it when I was younger. Um, and also like I feel like seeing those like lady vampires when I was younger was kind of like when I saw those as a kid, I was like, okay, like you know, like this damn like girls are pretty
Yeah.
attractive. You know how like sometimes when you're young you like see something and have like, like I guess your sexual awakening
Yeah.
or whatever. For some reason I remember like specifically from watching this movie as a kid. I remember like being enamored by those female vampires for some reason.
Vamps.
They're pretty hot, bro.
Yeah.
But Van Helsing's also pretty hot himself.
He's a handsome dude.
I think Hugh Jackman does a great job as him though in this.
Yeah, no, you could tell he's having a lot of fun in the role too.
Yeah, for sure.
Same thing
And
with the Dracula, the guy who plays Dracula.
yeah, I feel like at first, like when I was watching it, I didn't really like him as cast as Dracula. I feel like he's not as like traditionally handsome as you would think like Dracula should be. But he definitely grew on me as I was watching.
Yeah.
Um, I think overall though the creature design was pretty good. I liked his like final form, the
The like yeah.
like the creature ass vampire, like the one with wings and shit.
Yeah.
I think the werewolves look pretty good. Like the CGI was decent. Um, I don't know how I felt about Van Helsing turning into a werewolf though.
I like
Like,
how in this one like it's almost like the werewolves like they rip off their skin. Like I thought that was really cool. Like
oh yeah, no, I was gonna mention that. I actually wrote that down as well. I like the werewolf transformation was very
yeah.
unique, like you said. Like like they rip off their skin to reveal like the wolf underneath, which is like weird, but I liked it.
Did this like not do good
I don't know.
financially?
I don't know. I mean, it had like franchise potential. Like they could have easily told another story in this
Yeah, I
world.
was like, how did they never like? I don't know.
It must have not made a lot of money.
And Hugh
Um,
Jackman, like in 2004, that was like the prime of his career, right off of X-Men.
yeah, definitely. I mean, there's probably a bunch of shit behind the scenes. I didn't like do that much research into this. I probably should have, but that is a good question. I do wonder why they never attempted to do anything else with this. Um, but let me see what else I had. What did you think of the girl Kate Beckinsale's character, like the
I
main girl?
mean, she's a little woman. Like I don't know.
She's
She was
she's
like,
a,
uh, she was
she's like
okay.
yeah, she's like a bit one note, and she's just
Yeah.
she's like oh this badass woman. She is kind of like typecast in those in that role. I don't know if you've seen the Underworld movies, but she plays like the lead girl in that as well.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's basically it's like a very similar character.
Oh, okay.
Did you pick up like what is her like ancestry? She's like related to someone
Like
that like
basically, like her bloodline can't go to heaven until Dracula's dead.
oh I see.
I forgot like exactly. That's the sense. That's like the gist of it. That's why she wants to kill him so badly.
Yeah, I forgot that she dies at the end. I thought it was kind of goofy how like he sees like her face in the clouds and stuff.
How did she die? Like I don't like. I just remember like looking and like she was just dead on the couch.
Well, she has the antidote to cure Van Helsing from being a werewolf. So he's like
Oh,
in werewolf form and he like jumps and attacks her. She stabs him with the antidote and I guess he like claws her. It doesn't really show it. But excuse me, but she kills him somehow. Or no, he kills her somehow. Um but yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how like I don't know what exactly he did that killed her. Um
what did you think of the Frankenstein design?
I kind of liked it. It was like
Yeah,
different
I thought it
enough
was,
that
yeah, I like that. All the designs are pretty unique.
yeah, it had its own take. I mean, I still if it was like a classic looking Frankenstein, I still would have enjoyed it, you know.
Yeah.
I just like love the Universal monsters. Like I love Frankenstein, I love Dracula, like Wolfman, whatever. Like any type of movie that like delves into that, I'm like super
But
interested
isn't
in.
isn't Netflix doing like a monster? I know Guillermo del Toro is doing a Frankenstein movie.
They're doing a Bride of Frankenstein with Christian Bale is going to be in it.
Yeah, what's her name's directing it?
Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
She's she I think she only directed one film before, which was for Netflix. I forget what it's called. I watched it. That was pretty good. Um,
Are they gonna be like connected, those movies, or
I mean, you would think so, right? But because why would they do a Frankenstein and a Bride of Frankenstein for the same platform and then just not connect them?
yeah, that's what I mean.
Surprised Christian Bale's signed on to do that though. But
I mean, he's done Netflix movies before, though.
yeah, yeah. Wait, has he? No.
Yeah, he just did the one we played like it was like
Oh, the Edgar Allan Poe shit. Yeah,
yeah.
I see. Um, but yeah, I'm into all those type of movies with anything with the Universal monsters. I'm like slowly watching all those old movies.
Hmm.
Like I'm trying to watch like every one. I just watched like I got through most of like the main like Dracula, Frankenstein. I've seen Bride of Frankenstein. I just watched like a movie called Dracula's Daughter, which is like the sequel to Dracula. It's pretty good. I mean, I just like that world, and I feel like
Yeah.
just how the films look, like just the black and white, and I don't know. It's just like watching those is like opening a time capsule in a way.
Yeah,
And
no.
I liked how in this movie they started off in black and white as well as they were like telling the
Yeah, I
Frankenstein
was gonna
story.
say the opening scene was really cool. Like, and I like how the Universal logo transitions.
Yeah, honestly, that's probably my favorite scene, that opening. Um, I don't know if you had a different scene that stuck out to you.
No, I was gonna say the opening as well.
And then favorite character.
Probably Van Helsing.
Yeah, how can you not say Van Helsing? Although
Yeah.
I did like Dracula a lot. What do you think of like the Friar character?
Yeah, he's alright. I don't know.
He was just
It
like
just
comedic relief.
yeah.
Um,
The score
but
was also really good too. I
yeah,
forgot to
yeah, the score was pretty good. Um, there was like a song in particular that I remember. I was like, "Yo, this shit's fire."
when
When
he's
I
like
was
riding in like London.
yes,
No,
bro,
he's in France. He's in
or
France.
wherever. Yeah, he was like, it was like a. I can't even explain the song, but I remember listening, hearing it, and I was like, "Bro, this shit going
He's
crazy
from
right now."
It reminded me of, like, the Puss in Boots theme, kind of.
Maybe. I don't know. Let me see if I have anything else written down for this. Um. Oh yeah, I liked how they used both CG and practical effects, like based on what would be necessary for a scene.
Yeah.
Um, which was cool. Dr. Jekyll's CG was like it was like decent. It's not bad.
Yeah, but for
Especially
2004, the CGI is pretty good.
yeah, like to make a humanoid character that doesn't look like insanely terrible is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't. I feel like this is the type of movie that they could maybe do like a modern take on it nowadays.
Yeah.
Um, it has potential. And Van Helsing, I don't know if you know, is like he's a character from like the original Dracula film.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's basically like the dude who sort of like figures out that like Dracula is a vamp.
Oh, I
So they
didn't know
kind of
that.
like reimagined his character to be like a monster hunter.
I kind of, yeah. I mean, I wish they would try something like this in like, again. I don't think they will, but
Didn't wait, when you watched The Mummy, the Tom Cruise one, didn't they have a Van Helsing character in that?
no, they have like a Jekyll and Hyde, like Dr. Jekyll is in it.
Oh,
But it's like his, like, I don't know. It's stupid. There's like a monster organization or something.
monster organization.
I don't fucking know. And some guy was supposed to play Dracula. They cast him.
Was it Johnny Depp?
No, he was playing the Invisible Man.
Oh, was
He's
it
in like he's in the Godzilla movies. He's like the villain in one of the Godzilla movies.
villain in the Godzilla movies? I don't know. It's not Benicio del Toro, right? Because I know he was.
No, no,
Oh no, not Benicio del Toro. Was it Javier Bardem?
no.
Because he's in the picture, like that famous picture, like the MonsterVerse picture.
Is he really?
Yeah, I don't know
Oh,
who
yeah,
he's.
he was supposed to play Frankenstein actually.
Oh, okay. That's honestly not a bad casting.
Oh,
Weird.
Charlie Dance.
Charlie Dans. I don't know. If I saw his face, I would know him.
He's in like Game of Thrones, I think.
Or
Yeah, it's in Game of Thrones.
yeah, I mean, I feel like every so often they attempt to like revive the monster world. Wait, now that I think about it, I look at isn't Hugh Jackman in like a Wolfman movie? Or am I thinking of the wrong thing?
No, he's not in that Wolfman movie. I know the one you're talking about.
I think we saw that with Dad as well in
Yeah.
the theater.
So who's in that actually?
Oh, that one is Benicio del Toro. He plays the Wolfman.
Is he really?
Yeah. I actually watched that recently. It was pretty good. I rewatched it. It was like decent. So
Yeah, I have to honestly. I've been telling you I'm rewatching like the Star Wars movies, and
yeah,
I
yeah.
really liked his character in The Last Jedi. He was like one of my favorite characters from the movie.
Who does he play?
He's like the smuggler. Like he's like a but he ends up like double crossing them.
Oh yes, yes.
But like he just talks about how he sells weapons to both sides.
Yeah. I don't really remember that movie. But we're like rambling here. We're getting off
Oh yeah,
topic.
yeah.
Um you want to go to the ratings? I don't know if because I know you like just finished watching it. I don't know if you have a rating
Yeah, I
for
mean, I'm pretty confident. I'm gonna give it a 3.5. Like, obviously, it does have some issues, like in terms of like the script's a little cheesy, and some of it's like a little, I don't know. But you know what you're getting when you watch a movie like this. Like, I wasn't expecting to see something that was gonna like move me to tears. Yeah, it's like
Yeah, yeah.
action, and if it's exactly what I wanted it to be.
Yeah, I believe it's overrated. I gave it the same thing. I gave it a 3.5 star.
I feel like it's like
7 out
criminally
of 10.
underrated. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
on Rotten Tomatoes, it's like 20%.
yeah, it's just like a fun
It's
action
so bro,
movie
it's mad.
that like
Honestly, like it isn't even that bad. The script, like yeah, it's like
nah,
I mean,
it's
it's
not
not
that bad.
good, but it's not like
Yeah. It's just like a lot of fun. Like
Yeah.
I remember at points at the end, like me and my friends were watching it and it was just like we were like, yo, like what the fuck is going on? There's like so much shit happening. Like Frankenstein was like holding on to like a wire and like launching himself swinging past a bridge. And we were like, dude, like what is happening? It's just like cheesy
Yeah.
action. And it takes that and combines it with like the Universal monsters, which I love. So definitely not a 20%, dude. I'll give
Yeah.
that a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I
Damn,
guess
I
we
kind of
could.
want. I gotta watch this Wolfman. I had no idea he played the Wolfman in it.
Yeah, it was a pretty good movie. Not bad.
The cast is actually stacked, dude. One, Anthony Hopkins, Emily
Yeah,
Blunt, Hugh
Emily
the
Blunt's in it.
Weaving.
I'm trying to think who they play. I think Anthony Hopkins like plays his dad or something. That also is a werewolf. I don't know. But yeah. Anyways, let's move on
Yeah.
to the Q&A. I think we only have one question. I forgot to like post the question sticker thing. Let's see. All right, this is from at sophia.k.ua. Thank you for consistently giving us good questions. What are some movies you would recommend for a lazy summer day?
Lazy Summer. What is that?
I don't know exactly what
Yeah,
what
what like type of movie you watching on?
let me think. I guess just like
Summer movie, I guess.
a lighthearted fun movie. Let me think. Let me go on. Let me check on the letterbox really quick. See if I get inspired by anything. I feel like any like superhero movie, like one of the older MCU movies, maybe.
Yeah.
Just like, fun, inoffensive. Let me see. I don't know if you could think of anything. One that came to mind just from hearing what's it called? Summer Day, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Although I'm not like the biggest fan of it.
That is a really fun movie.
Let's see. I definitely have a fucking better answer for you. Hold on. Maybe a Pixar film. Those are always fun. Ratatouille is my favorite. That's the best Pixar film easily, I think. Um, Trying to think of like a summer movie as well.
I don't think.
It's a good summer movie.
I can't think of like anything specifically like
Yeah,
synonymous with.
I could think of like the vibes of it,
Yeah.
but I don't know. My choice, I'll say Ferris Bueller's Day Off or any Pixar film, Ratatouille. If you're chilling on a nice summer day, toss on Ratatouille.
Yeah, I might have to go to Pixar one.
What is your favorite Pixar movie?
Soul.
That ass.
Yeah.
Soul is great, but
Soul's mad good. I went into Soul like no, I had no idea what it was about. I thought it was so good.
yeah, that came out during COVID too on Christmas
Yeah.
a few years ago. But all right, well, thanks for the question. So yeah, I guess it's my turn to recommend a movie.
Yeah.
This has been a pretty short episode, but there wasn't really much to discuss. So, the movie I'm going to recommend, I mentioned it earlier in the video actually, and seeing that Your Ghost trailer inspired me. I want you to watch Killing of a Sacred Deer.
You've been telling me to watch this movie for a long time.
Directed by Yorgos, starring Nicole Kidman, Colin Farrell, and Barry Keoghan. This was like my introduction to Barry Keoghan, and he's like one of my favorite actors now.
Isn't it about a robbery?
No,
No. What am I thinking of?
I don't know, but it is a very strange movie. This is one that I watched when I was like first getting into film, and like I discovered Yorgos through that, and he is a very kind of like out there director.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's a very strange film. You have to watch it all in one sitting and like just like fully immerse yourself into the world. Like it's hard to explain, but like the way that the characters speak is like so like like not normal and like otherworldly kind of
Yeah.
that like it's gonna take you a while to get used to like the way that they speak. But once you watch it, you'll get like why I was so excited for Barry Keoghan getting cast as the Joker, because he gives off like Joker crazy vibes in this.
Right.
So, all right. So next or in 2 weeks, episode 24, we'll have Fast X, Little Mermaid, right?
Yeah, Little Mermaid.
That comes out, which apparently is decent, which
Yeah,
is surprising.
I thought, yeah, to my surprise.
And we'll do Killing of a Sacred Deer as well. So make sure you watch those. Thanks for listening, guys. And that's it. Yeah. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.